Okay, so I'm finally back after however many months it's been, and I want to start doing my weekly movie news updates again for you, and I'm going to put lots of other bits in whenever they're needed, so if there's any big news, whatever. I'm at uni, so they're going to be a bit sporadic, but hopefully you'll stick with me and I'll get some good subscribers and I can, see what you guys are doing, and that'd be awesome. So Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, quite possibly the best movie title of this coming year, has finally got a director in Craig Gillespie, which is brilliant. I was really worried about the project. It sounds like a great idea. I was quite excited about Mike White doing it. Thought he'd be pretty good. He's a bit different, but unfortunately these things aren't always meant to be, and I'm pretty sure Craig will give it a good shot, and I'm pretty excited to see what we've got. Just waiting on some casting news for this now, obviously, but I'm sure that won't be too far off now. We've got Cloverfield's Matt Reeves also doing another vampire film now. It's called The Passage. He's obviously shown us he's pretty capable of putting off big movies with Cloverfield, and obviously we've had Let the Right One In remake, Let Me In, which has been received brilliantly, critically as well. And Chloe Moretz is obviously, she's about to morph into an absolute superstar, so he's obviously got an eye for talent. Looking forward to that one too. I got really excited as I thought that Ryan Gosling was going to be acting opposite Johnny Depp in The Lone Ranger. Thought he was going to be the Lone Ranger opposite Depp's Tonto, but we just found out that that wasn't true. He's not starring in the Disney film. Weird rumour of the week has got to be Marilyn Manson possibly in talks to join Lindsay Lohan in a Sharon Tate murder biopic. I think that's a little bit strange that they're going to let someone with the surname Manson be in this film, even though, as my good follower Andrew Spores let me know, his real name is actually Brian Warne, which I did know, Mr. Spores, but thank you for clarifying that. I don't really see this happening. I think there'll be a lot of controversy, but as with most Hollywood things, most things are controversial, especially the fact that Lindsay Lohan is also potentially in talks for this, so I guess I'll have to wait and give you some more news on that one. There's been a lot of casting for the Hunger Games, which we know that the role of Katniss has gone to Jennifer Lawrence, who a lot of people have thought she's a bit old for it. Elizabeth Banks has been cast to play Effie Trinket, and there's a lot more casting news for that. If you want to pop over to Emu and have a look at that. I've got loads of X-Men First Class photos up as well, and the questionable marketing campaign. Matthew Vaughn has said he's not used to the whole massive franchise being done within a production house, massive studio, so he's obviously not marketing the film, but he said he's learning a lot from it, and I think he's going to do a good job regardless. The footage looks a lot more promising. Not long to go now. The cast for American Pie number 4, American Reunion, I think it's 4, is shaping up pretty nicely too. We've got Chris Klein back now, joining Alison Hannigan and everyone else from the first films, Jason Biggs, Sean William Scott, so they're all back together. Not a massive fan of those films. Never really kind of bought into all that kind of stuff, probably because I wasn't allowed to watch them when I was younger, but I'm pretty sure for all you fans it's going to be a great instalment into the franchise. Now, we lost Ben Affleck as Tom Buchanan in The Great Gatsby, Baz Luhrmann's remake, and I was a bit upset about that. I know a lot of people question him, he's a great director, but I thought that he was perfect casting for that. I can really see him, after watching the Robert Redford version, I can really see him kind of getting a bit angry and getting stuck into that, and it would be good to see him have a really good role, meaty role, that's not one that he's directed himself in. But apart from that, I was a moth just flew in my room. Apart from that, we've just found out that Isla Fisher, Sacha Baron Cohen's other half, she's been cast as Myrtle Wilson, so she would have been playing opposite him. Bit of a shame. They'd be quite interesting to see together. But I don't know, I thought they might have cast someone maybe a little more, not plain, but used to playing character roles for Myrtle. So this could be a really, really big break for Miss Fisher, big jump into the big time, and I think she's pretty good. I think she's got a lot to show, back from her home and away days, so look forward to seeing her, and I'm pretty sure she'll blow us all the way. Okay, so big news of the week was the casting for The Dark Knight Rises. Literally cannot tell you how excited I am about this film. We've got Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Marianne Cotillard, who Christopher Nolan has obviously decided to take from Inception, as well as Tom Hardy, and put in the new instalment and his last instalment for his Batman franchise, which we've heard Warner Brothers are thinking about rebooting after Nolan's finished with them. Not getting into that conversation now. Really, really not getting into that. Haven't got enough time for that. Another story. But we found out what roles they're going to be playing. We knew they were getting involved. We aren't getting Gordon Levitt playing the role we thought, the Falcone role. He's playing a Gotham City beat cop called John Blake, and Cotillard will play a woman called Miranda Tate, who's a board member on Wayne Enterprises. I think it'd be really awesome to see Cotillard, because she played a really, really crazy role within Inception, and obviously Nolan's, well, as far as we know, this won't be a crazy role. Who knows, it's Batman, it's Gotham. But be interesting to see how differently Nolan gets her to work in this. And Gordon Levitt's just wonderful, I love him, so that'd be cool, that'd be definitely very cool. Those of you who like your computer games, Portal 2, which is a huge new game that's just come out, if you get that game, if you go within all the extras, you'll find out there's an interactive trailer for J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg's new film, Super 8. I had a look at it and it's quite cool. You go around and you can't play it properly, you go around and have a look, see what's going on, you can interact with some things, but it plays out some of the events that happen in the trailer. So it's quite interesting, and if you're a bit of a geek, if you're really into this film and you think it's going to be really exciting, which I definitely do, I'd give it a look, definitely, because you can, you know, have a wander around and it's pretty interesting. Okay, we've got sequels confirmed for Thor and Captain America already. I'm not saying any more. I'm going to watch the first films, the first, and then I'll get back to you on what I think about that, because that's interesting. And we've got the Avengers coming up anyway, so it'll be interesting to see how they're going to sort that timeline out. The cast for Rock of Ages is really shaping up pretty amazingly. They just added Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's going to be joining Russell Brand. She's going to be joining John Travolta. The thing is, they really wanted Amy Adams in it, but unfortunately, obviously now she's been cast as Lois Lane in Superman, it just doesn't work out, which is a shame, because she's got a really good voice, as we've seen in Enchanted, which I actually only saw this week, which was quite interesting. A lot of love for Susan Sarandon in that. But the cast for that is shaping up really, really nicely, and I think that's going to be pretty, pretty sweet. Really looking forward to it. Obviously, there was some really sad news this week about the Oscar-nominated director of Restrepo, the documentary about the soldiers, and Tim Hetherington, who directed that, well, he's co-director. Unfortunately, he was out in Libya and he was shot and killed. So, you know, a lot of love goes out to his family and anyone that worked with him or knew him, because that's absolutely tragic. And unfortunately, there were some other people that got hurt as well, and one of the others died in hospital as well. So that's really, really sad. And if you haven't watched Restrepo, which I haven't, and you know, I need to do that this week, I really would recommend it. It's such a shame, and there's been so many amazing tributes to him, and you know, I think, you know, give our little tribute to him and definitely watch Restrepo. Now this one isn't really a surprise. We've got Kate Beckinsale, who's married to Len Wiseman, and he likes to cast her in films. He likes to put her in spandex, you know, he likes all that, and I can't blame him. You know, even as a straight woman, I can see the appeal there. And he's just, as you know, he's directing the remake of Total Recall, which Colin Farrell is starring in, and he's apparently just offered her a role in that. We think she's been offered the role of Laurie, the role that Sharon Stone portrayed in the original film, but apparently she's going to be playing opposite Jessica Biel, so that'll be interesting to see how those two are going to work together. But anyway, this is a project that a lot of people are really passionate about. Well, they're passionate about the original, and I'm not really sure how it's going to play out, but I think Wiseman's career has been a little bit patchy, and Beckinsale, as his leading lady, hasn't always gone down particularly well, but she's charming, you know, she's great in things like Click, and she does the job, so as the love interest, we will see what happens. If you do one thing after watching this, please, 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 please watch the trailer for the absolutely fantastic Attack the Block. It's the directorial debut from Joe Cornish, who's part of Adam and Joe, who a lot of you English people will know, especially from their podcasts, which are absolutely fantastic. But it was shown at South by Southwest Festival and had a midnight screening, and the reviews and the reception for this have just been phenomenal. There's been some great 5-star reviews, and I think this is just going to be absolutely brilliant. For any of you who don't really know about it, it's about some aliens that come down to London, and it's about a group of hoodies who are like, what are you doing? And they're going to completely, basically try and beat them up and get rid of them. And in England, what else would you want? I think if we want anyone to go and fight those aliens, we're going to send some hoodies down there, we're going to get them to sort them out, and I think these hoodies kind of say, you know, you landed in the wrong place of London. And it's got Nick Frost in it as well, and it just looks really, really funny. Some of the trailers have got Basement Jaxx music in the background too, so give them a look. They're everywhere. The Guardian website, obviously go over to Emu and have a look, or my Twitter, and have a look at that. Let me know what you think. Another bit of casting news, a brilliant cast is lining up for a film called Gangster Squad. There's not much about it really yet. It's Warner Brothers and they're negotiating at the moment, but it's Sean Penn, Josh Brolin and Ryan Gosling. So keep an eye out on that, because that cast sounds pretty good, you know, Oscar nominated, just it'll be a pretty nice one I think there. 4 new Hangover Part 2 TV spots. 4, go and watch them now. Let me know what you think. Another bit of controversial casting news too, even though the general public seems to be quite happy with this casting. We've got Jeremy Renner, who I personally absolutely love, and I'm worried that he's going to be, you know, kind of put into everything and the public are going to become really sick of him, which shouldn't happen because he's really talented and he's Oscar nominated, and I'm rambling because I love the guy, but he's been chosen to be the lead role in The Bourne Legacy, which is obviously the, I say spin-off, but is carrying on the books from the Matt Damon franchise. And it's definitely one that a lot of people have got really strong feelings about, and please let me know what you think about this film. Well, about the casting news, but I think this guy's going to be amazing. He's got such a good following, he's got brilliant action history, you know, Hurt Locker, he's in the new Mission Impossible film. I think he's perfect, honestly perfect. So sue me if he does a crap job, but he won't. It's going to be great, and I don't know who's directing it yet. I might do, and I'll write it if I've not on top of my head, but anyway, it's going to be pretty slick I think, so keep an eye out for him in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant, definitely one to watch. We've got John Travolta and Uma Thurman back together again. They're going to be in Oliver Stone's Savages. We've also got Emile Hirsch and Blake Lively cast in that. John C. Reilly, who is a comic genius, but I seriously think has a great serious acting side to him. He's been offered a role on The Hunger Games too. This film is constantly being talked about at the moment, casting left, right and centre, and I think, you know, I don't know much about the book, I haven't read it. He's also got, we need to talk about Kevin, which is based on a really popular book by Lionel Shriver, I think, and he's acting opposite Tilda Swinton in that, which I think is going to be really interesting. I've got a lot of friends who are really excited about this film because the book over here, as I said, is huge. I don't know about in America or wherever else in the world you're from, but it's really big, and he's definitely got a good role there. So I'm glad to see that he's getting more, you know, more serious roles, because I think the guy's great, not just in his Will Ferrell films. Last but not least, I saw a film recently which my very good friend Alex Carr, who has been such a good support to me since I met him a few months ago, he's been absolutely star, thank you. He waxed lyrical about this film called The Fall. I'd never heard of it, and it said it was presented by Spike Jonze and David Fincher, and Fincher's one of my favourite directors, so I was like, you know, okay, give it a go. It's absolutely amazing. It's incredible. It's directed by Tarsem, and he's directing the new Snow White film with Lily Collins, and quite honestly, it is the most visually stunning film I've ever seen. I mean that. The cinematography is incredible, and why it got passed over for an Oscar is ridiculous. It's beyond me. It, you know, it won the Crystal Bear at Berlin Film Festival, and it's one of those films that they just get passed over. Had a really limited cinematic release back in 2008, and it's just brilliant. And the little girl in it, Katinka Untaru, I think that's how you pronounce it, she's so adorable in it, and maybe as well as Pan's Labyrinth, she gives one of the best children's performances I've ever seen. She's fantastic, and she plays opposite Lee Pace, who you might know from TV's Pushing Daisies, opposite Anna Friel, who's great, and you watch that and you think, why aren't you more famous? But please watch it, it's amazing. I don't want to say anything about it because it will give quite a lot away, but go over to my blog and have a little look about the little thing I've written about it, and try and watch it. I've not really found it in many DVD shops, but, you know, HMV, whatever, other shops are available, but you can find it online, and I really recommend buying it. Renting it is literally so stunning. It's very different, and I'm not really one for my really art house films. I don't know, maybe that's a bit of a lie. I think I am, but it's absolutely brilliant, and give it a shot, definitely. It's really worth it. Oh, and pop over to my blog to go and see my latest Funny Friday clip. That sounds so awful when I say it out loud. Alliteration gone horribly wrong. It's Angry Birds, the good old iPhone app. It's a spoof trailer, and it's as if it was directed by Michael Bay. So it's a little crazy.